need the whole left side. Every seat by the window, I need the whole back of the bus. Everybody, move over. You too, slide your feet over. Everything by this window, I need this. All these seats. Move over, thank you. Excuse me, thank you. Look. He deserve an EGOT, he hot, colored like a peacock. Idiot, slapper, scrapper, mad rapper, D-dot. Bad dopper, clapper, bad rapper. 3 shots, lethal weapons, lethal injections through off your T-top. JFK smiling down through the treetops. Like hold your head, my nigga, wait for the beat drop. Old niggas wagging fingers like it's bebop. Cowboys and girls whistling world like it's teapots. My pen to make your arm heavy G-shot. While your mom trolling steady on the G. Lights up, mics up. Let's get them likes up. How you doing? Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Gang, what's going on? If you don't see me by 8:10, that's only when you don't worry until 8:10, 8:15. But usually by 8:05, I'm already here. Right? I'm already here sitting, trying to just tap into a few things before we actually go live. But likes up, mics up, get the likes up, hit that subscribe. Bethany, good morning. How we looking? We are here. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what happened with the title. The titles, I changed the title, but for some reason, when it went live, apparently, it kept the same title from yesterday. But I'm gonna look into why that happened. That is what it is, gang. Ain't nothing I really could do about that at this point. We're just gonna keep the show pushing. How you guys doing this morning? I'll change that and we'll get there. But how you guys doing? Early in the morning, early Monday morning. What's today, y'all? Thursday. I put breakfast on your table. Good to see you guys. I'm amped up. I'm just making sure the title's correct on YouTube. I can't have the same title twice. You know what I mean? It happens. It happens, gang. Let me get in here and fix this. I got to knock 2 of these letters off. Let me see. Just gonna fix it real quick. Let me fix this real quick, gang. All right, there we go. All right, we good. I can't have it looking crazy on my YouTube. That look crazy. Look like it's yesterday's title. We can't do that. All right. Let me get in this chat. All right, so that's fixed. It was too many letters in the title. Miss Hummus, how you doing? How we looking in the chat? Let me see what's going on before we get popping. Coffee in my cup. Positively Pepper Jones. All right. Black Ball, what up? What up, what up, what up? Right? Rasheen said Charles going to get that EGOT before Dot. He deserve an EGOT. What's good? Let me see who else in here. Soak in the building. Journey. Happy Hump Day. Today Thursday, ain't it? Journey said happy Hump Day. Now I'm all confused. Don't do this to me, gang. Is this from yesterday? What's going on? Everything is yesterday. Grand Rising to Jazzy 1. Kiana Vernon said good morning. Poison Ivy in the building. Like I said, gang, if you don't see me, so like 8:05, just trust and believe Charles might actually still go. I know I said 8 o'clock, but around 8:05, I'm just wrapping up titles and setting up things. You know what I mean? It is what it is, right? Let me see who else. Tom G in the building. Done Deal in the building. Salute. Me Love James. All right. Grant. Glory. What's good, Glory? Glory C. XC Kid. I know I'm saying that crazy. And I'm going to talk about that freshman class. I'm going to get into that right now. Let's get into that. All right. XC Kid said, did you see the XXL freshman class? Okay, gang. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. I'm going to talk about this. because I don't. All right. Okay. So I'm trying to find the right words. I'm trying to find the right words for this. I know that we are. I guess as you Tiff, what's good? Tiff, Tiffany Company, Rocky McGee. I say McGee all the time. I be calling my dogs McGee. Let me see. Melanator, Positively Babes, Positivity Bees, right? But I'm gonna get to all that stuff in the title. The title's supposed to say Drake fans drag Lil Yachty. It's supposed to say all that, but I guess it was too many letters, so it just ran with the title from yesterday. We'll fix that. We'll fix that. I just fixed it. But it's supposed to say Drake fans drag Lil Yachty, Joe Budden scolds Foolio's killer, and Cardi B fires back. So we're gonna get into all that because Cardi B is somebody trying to say she got her tooth knocked out. There's a lot going on. Good morning, Mary, Flash Burnt, Damon. Everybody's chopping in. Appreciate you. And I hope you guys watched my video I dropped last night. This one was extensive. Took a little work, but I did have to drop a video last night in response to your boy J Robuck. Some of you like, who the hell is J Robuck? But I did drop a video called J Robuck is compromised by OVO, right? Because when we had the conversation about the OVO loan, a lot of myself and a lot of my contemporaries came out with videos. Some were saying that Drake is broke. Some were not saying he's broke, but all of us were reading from the lawsuit, right? And some of us was using AI to condense and consolidate the story to have a more, just a better look at the situation. Now, J Robuck, who is the he's becoming one of the biggest Drake defenders, right? He caught a lick with NFR podcast, and he had already caught the first lick with Danny from the Stop. He did a video with Danny from the Stop called 5 Drake haters versus 1 Drake fan, and he took on 5 supposedly Kendrick fans who supposedly hate Drake, and he dismantled them according to who you ask, right? So that video did very, very well for him and Danny from the Stop. Made him kind of infamous on these YouTube streets, and he became the go-to guy for all things in defense of Drake, right? This is J Robuck. Then he caught another lick, and this lick was serious. Like, he caught that NFR lick. NFR podcast, they're major. I believe they're out of Canada, and they got him to do a video over there, and he did that video, and that video did probably 150K, right? He did another video where he was taking on 5 Kendrick fans that were saying that GNX is better than Iceman. His take was that Iceman is better than GNX. So they had a whole thing where he said some stuff about Drake is a better writer than Kendrick, and just a lot of all things, everything that Drake does is better than Kendrick. So that video went up. It actually was a better video than the first one because the guys were more knowledgeable, and I think that they beat Jay in a lot of ways. But you can't say that when it's supposed to be Jay's beating them and Jay's controlling the clock and it's that and the third. So then when that lawsuit came out about the loan for the $5.2 million loan that they took out, and they didn't want to pay the interest and the make whole fee, I asked Jay to respond. So long story short, I'm not going to rock you with the story. Jay responded with a video, and he pretty much was saying all these guys on YouTube are using propaganda and clickbait. They're telling the story wrong, and they're getting the numbers wrong, and they don't know what they're talking about. Don't listen to them, listen to me. Right? So I watched his video, and I noticed that Jay was doing a lot of omitting and he was making a lot of excuses for the OVO loan, which if you peel back the layers, and I peeled back the layers in my video last night. That video is almost an hour. It's an hour, but it is a very thorough breakdown. I'm sure Jay going to have a response, but long story short, the narrative that they're trying to come up with for OVO, saying that they paid the the principal, they paid it early. They didn't pay anything early. They paid everything late. They had a $10 million loan, and then they took another $5.2 million loan. And it's all for the OVO clothing, not the music. And they paid all of it late. And the company agreed to not enact and try to take the litigation. They said, we're going to settle this amicably, and you're going to pay us what you owe in due time, right? So Jay took all of that to try to spin it that, oh, that just restructuring, this, that, and the third. And you guys don't know, you use other people's money. They were just using a little bit of a loan to restructure. So it was a lot of spin for OVO. And I did a video debunking all that, because they didn't pay the principal early. They paid it late. That's why they in forbearance. So the whole thing was about how Jay is just, at this point, he's coddling and trying to smooth it over for them, and he's using conjecture. So check that video out, right? I think it's a good watch. It's called Jay. Even if you don't know who Jay Robuck is, you will learn a lot about the loans. They took out several loans. They took out a total of 6 loans. People only really thinking about the one loan, but they took out 6. They took out one $10 million loan. Then they took out 5 other ones for or credit, however you want to word it, and then five other loans to equal 5.2 million, which is where the lawsuit is coming from. They paid back the $10 million, but they paid that one back late too. Paid that back this year after they went into forbearance for that one too. But Jay don't want to tell you all that. He's just telling you that companies do this all the time. You know what I mean? So this, that, and the third. So just watch that video. It's a good watch if you got a little bit of time to spare. Yeah, man. I think it's a good watch. Salute the Neanderthal fatigue. He said Flacco is worse. Flacco is worse because Flacco went on and tried to say he was going to be honest about it and made it even worse. It's just these guys they've aligned themselves, and they can't just be like, okay, this time it's just cut and dry. I'm not going to try to defend it. Nope, they got to try to spin it. So that's where we are, right? So we're gonna get to the I got the story about Drake fans dragging Lil Yachty. So we're gonna get to that, but I want to talk about this XXL Freshman list. Now, I know many of you are still rap fans, but you're at this point, you're checking out of rap at the current state of rap with the young people. And they always say rap is a young person's game. They say that, but it's really not. The people moving the needle in hip hop are older people. Let's just keep it a buck. Kanye, for lack of a better choice, Drake, Kendrick, Jay-Z made a whole lot of noise over the last 2 weeks with just one freestyle. Every time Eminem drops, it shuts down a whole lot. Like, I can go on and on. I can't name anybody under 25. Maybe one who maybe I don't even know how old NBA YoungBoy is, but I can't name anybody under 25 holding the culture in their hand like that. Now, you may say, Charles, how can they if they're under 25? But I'm going to tell you that if you're telling me rap is a young person's game, why the hell Jay-Z was all over my timeline in the last 2 weeks? Right? Why are we all caught up in Cardi B and Kanye, what they got going on, and Kendrick and Drake? These guys are in their late 30s. I don't know how old Cardi is, but I know she ain't under 25. If anybody can confirm that, right? But the XXL freshman list is just that. It's freshmen. People new to the scene. People that they're supposed to be telling you who got next, right? Who got next? And let me get to the super chat. I got to get to the super chat. Salute Jazzy 1. Have some coffee on me. I was supposed to get that. I apologize. I highlighted it and then went down. Salute to Jazzy 112. Have some coffee on me. It's been stressful in these streets. It has been. Thank you for the super chat. It's been crazy. This has been a crazy week, gang. This has been a crazy. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but they came. Dude, I did a whole video about they want academics and DJ academics. Gang, it got so bad, right? I put the post up about DJ academics and academic TV being tagged by a overzealous Drake fan telling them to find dirt on me. They said, we're tired of this this F N word, right? They're tired of me. They said, find dirt on this guy and we'll repost it. This is the Drake fans' sentiment right now. They want Academics TV to do what he does to everyone else, to smear them, because I did a little too much talking about that OVO loan. So they went and tagged Academics and Academics TV and told them to find dirt on me and smear me. So I put that post on my Twitter and my family chat. My brother-in-law, he goes in the chat, he screenshots that. He like, bro, what did you do? Right? The family's worried. It's a lot going on. I'm like, man, listen. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. It's fine. It is stressful though. Right? It is stressful. You gotta take stuff with a grain of salt and keep pushing. Girly Jock in the building. Couch Potato. But let me get back to the freshman list. Appreciate you guys typing in. So this is the freshman list. Right? Now you're going to say, you shouldn't know these people. But this is probably the first time I don't know hardly anyone on here. Now, I know I got some young listeners, right? Some of them are going to know most of these people on this list. The 2026 freshman list. Now, I'm going to read the names and I'm going to read this article, but maybe it's me and I finally hit that wall where, in the words of Danny Glover, I'm getting too old for this shit. But I do not know any of these rappers. YKDs. Salute to everybody. First of all, let me congratulate everybody on the list. All right? Everybody on the list. Mama, I made it. You made it. This is your time to shine. I am proud of you. I'm proud of you. Okay? Let me say that. I'm not going to disparage it in any kind of way. I'm proud. I'm so proud of you, right? Like your boy Drizzy. I'm so proud of you. Okay, so let me just say that this is not a reflection on your hard work. But I'm going to read the list, okay? Let me read the article that comes with the list. This is off howdohiphop.com. XXL officially unveils their 2026 freshman list. Iconic hip hop magazine XXL has officially revealed its freshman list for 2026. It includes some massive up-and-comers. Every single year, XXL comes out with its freshman list since the inception of the list. The inclusions and exclusions have always been heavily debated. That's a fact. Those who aren't tapped into the underground are oftentimes left confused by the list. That's me. That's me. Furthermore, the reduction in ciphers and overall lack of lyrical rappers has led some to increased scrutiny. That's me as well. That will certainly be the case again this year. XXL has unveiled the 2026 version of its freshman list. If you are in the know, then the vast majority of the names here should be familiar. They're not to me, gang. I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to read them. On the underground hyper pop side, you have artists like Slayer. Meanwhile, viral sensations like Skrilla are here as well. I think I may have heard of Skrilla. It's going to be all right. I know I'm out of touch, gang, with this crop right here. Blame me. I blame myself, right? I'll take the blame for not knowing, and I'll do better. I'll like last year when it came out, when the freshman list came out last year, I went and I literally, I'm not exaggerating, I listened to everybody on that list and did a video on it. I did a video. I became familiar with a couple of them too, but I didn't know them, most of them, and I listened. I found some good ones on there, right? And I believe Ray Vaughn was on there, and is it Samaya? I'm struggling for her name, but I knew at least a few of those. Okay. Fans will also recognize names like Trim, YK Nice, Belly, Gang Cushington, Hurricane Wisdom, Chris Patrick, and Babyface E. A couple of artists with Kendrick and TDE cosigns like Lareezy and Trap Dicky, okay, were able to make the list as well. So Lareezy and Trap Dicky are from TDE. Like I said, I'm going to go listen to everybody because it's my job to know. Like she said, like the Frenchman says on The Matrix, it is my job to know. Jack Dan says Skrilla is not new. What the F? Right? Sims in the building. Salute to Sims. Appreciate you for the super chat. Says Charles Miles, the best chat out here. Love y'all, miss y'all. I'm a little tired, y'all, listening in this morning. Okay, salute to Sims. Appreciate you tapping in with us, as usual. All right. Let me continue. So Camo deservingly made the list, as did Miles Minnick, voted in the 10th spot. So let me name, I named all the people right there. YK Nice, Slayer, So Camo, Belly Gang Cushington, Trim, Miles Minnick, Skrilla, Hurricane Wisdom, Lareezy, Trap Dicky, Chris Patrick, and Babyface E. That's the whole list. Over the coming days and weeks, XXL will likely release any of the freestyles and ciphers that they decide to do. Some of them don't want to do it. Given the music some of these artists make, we imagine some of them will be skipping the freestyle process. Regardless, there is no denying that this list is indicative of the current hip-hop landscape. There are various movements recognized here, and even if you don't know these artists, that's what the list is there for, to introduce fans to new music and artists you deserve in your ear. So let me say this. Let me put it like this. They have to choose what they got to work with. They use the word viral sensations. That means TikTok rappers. XXL has no choice but to move with how the culture is moving. People don't get their music the same way anymore. Right now, I'm gonna be honest, every single time I sign into my Instagram, there is a new rapper. I get my music now. My algorithm is set up a certain way. Every single day, I'm clicking like on a new rapper I've never seen. Probably won't see him again, but they show him to me all the time. White, black, young, old. They showing me new rappers because that's how my algorithm is set up. And that's how I'm learning and finding new people. So it ain't the same like it used to be. Used to go to the record store, gang, I'm about to date myself. Used to go to the record store, stand in that aisle that said hip-hop and rap, and you would look at all the covers, and you would choose by the coolest cover, right? You would literally choose. That's why the album covers were so important back then. You would choose by how cool the album cover looked. And the radio, let's just be honest. And videos. But now, these kids are finding that stuff on TikTok. Right? Toy's like, they got Skrilla as a freshman. Someone who doesn't listen to rap or hip-hop. Hey, listen. That's what they got. That's the list. That is the list. But sometimes they do that. They'll take a person that's been out for a while and put them on there. Beautiful Leo says, entertainment has evolved. You and Koala are my morning show. Salute to Beautiful Leo. Appreciate you. SK said it's 7:30 Houston time. Girly Jock said the best ones on the list are not freshmen. Right? So whoever, and I have heard of Skrilla, but I don't know. Is Skrilla British? I'm not sure. I'm bugging out. I really don't know. You guys can help me out on that one. I've been tapped out of that crap. The UCT TikTok for they UCT up TikTok for me, IG for me. So and what I'm trying to say is XXL can only work with what you give them. Sad but true. Right? I'm not caping for them. I'm just making an observation. Right? And This is what it is. I can't say if these artists are good, bad, or indifferent because I haven't heard most of them. And I think that, and Chapo said they're grasping for straws at this point. Like I said, they can only get what they given, gang. You can only work with what you're given. And if you're given TikTok rappers and viral moment rappers, now let me walk that back a little bit. They could dig deeper too, gang. Like, let's just be honest. They could dig deeper. Because I've heard some really good rappers, like the Coast Contra type rappers, and they never seem to make lists like this. So I'm not gonna go too far with this. This is the best they can do. I'm not gonna do that, right? So, yeah, I can't even say. I can't even give them too much cushion, but they kind of trying to go by what's popping. They do need the mag to sell. They do need the list to go viral. Grant said, that's why I never heard of this class. I'm not on TikTok. So that's it, gang. That's the class. That's what you got. And that's what it is. Okay? And what you're going to end up having to do is to either learn about them or walk away, right? Slowly walk away, turn away from the game and stick to your old CDs and cassettes, right? Other than that, I don't know what to tell you because this is what it is. And I admittedly haven't listened to most of them. All right, gang. So the next story. We talked about this yesterday. Foolio's killer, I believe his name is Sean Gathright, something like that. He feels he's way too young to receive the death penalty. He said, it's kind of crazy that I'm this young, but I can receive the death penalty. I can't buy a house. I can't buy a car, but I can receive, not the death penalty, he received life in prison. And he caused quite a stir with those comments. Now, this guy who is outspoken, he has a lot of opinions. This guy, Mr. Joe Budden, has responded to Foolio's killers who viciously gunned down that man. And he went and I'm gonna get to you, Neander. He went and they went I believe they went to a party or a nightclub after. They ran down on that young man. Let's not try to make Foolio no kind of saint by absolutely no stretch of the imagination. And it was only a matter of time. Because he played in that world and he played it in the worst way. And the sad thing is he tried to be a real recording artist and do shows and go to different cities and do events that he's booked for. You can't really do both. Can't do both. Eventually they're going to come to one of your shows and do it, right? So Joe Budden is finally spoke up. And I want to get to what he said. But he's not empathetic to these guys. During the conversation about Foolio's killers on the Joe Budden podcast, he showcased his true thoughts on the situation. The Joe Budden podcast has never shied away from difficult conversations. This is by Alexander Cole on Hot New Hip Hop. Oftentimes, these conversations focus on a specific story or situation before ultimately becoming a discourse about society at large. This was certainly the case this week, as the cast had an in-depth conversation about the 4 men who killed Foolio. It's 4 of them. As we reported earlier this week, Sean Gathright, Isaiah Chance, Rashad Murphy, and Davion Murphy all received life sentences with no chance of parole. Gathright had an emotional plea to the courtroom, explaining how he's saddened by what has become of his life. He feels as though it's heartbreaking that someone who can't even buy liquor could be locked up for life. He even told his friends back home that violence is not the answer and to change before it's too late. We had that conversation yesterday. I'm going to get a picture of him up in the courtroom making these statements. Right? Let me continue. That subsequently led Ice and Ish to discuss how some of these individuals were probably good kids before getting wrapped up in the wrong crowd. Joe Budden vehemently disagreed with this assessment. Budden doesn't believe anyone who could travel from one city to another just to kill someone could ever have been classified as a good kid. This subsequently led to a discussion about King Von and whether he was ever a good kid. Budden was adamant that this was a stupid conversation to have. All right, gang, so we're going to get into the thick of it, right? Into the thick of it. Into the thick of it. This could be a controversial one, or it could be, guys, you agree with Budden. Meanwhile, Ice and Ish took a more empathetic approach, saying that no one on the cast actually knows these kids or what is in their hearts. They noted that the environment can play a big role in these kids in these kinds of things, and we're sympathetic about the situation. Ultimately, Budden was unmoved by what he was hearing. While castmates like Mark Lamont Hill prefer a rehabilitative approach to the incarceration, Budden doesn't fully seem to be on board. So let me put my I'm looking in the chat. Quite a few comments in there. Poet said the other killer who addressed his city and said it's not worth it was at least trying to prevent other people from going down that path. Right? Let me see what else. Toy said, damn, I'm late. Why am I still in the same spot where I noticed? All right. Pretty Mimi said his other side is coming out. That privilege is something serious. Jinxie said all the things you got to think about before you put the shiesty on. Let me say this. I'm going to try to speak on both sides. Right? I'm going to try to speak on both sides. I come from a very, very dangerous city. I come from DC. I was born and raised in DC. DC, Maryland, and Virginia, all three of them places. At one point when I was in DC, we had the highest murder rate of young black males dying. Right? Per capita, at one point in the late 80s, early 90s, we were bad. Like, DC was bad. And I went through that, and things you do, it is an environment you got to learn to maneuver. You can't be really soft. You got to, in all situations, you got to have your head in a swivel, make smart decisions. Some of the decisions are going to be, they can lead you to crime. I'm just going to be honest. But at the end of the day, as you start getting older, before you hit 20, before you can't wait till you get 20, run down on somebody with some sticks and get caught and be like, damn, I'm young. I should, no, my friend. Right? That's not how it works. You got to make smart decisions from 11, 10. You got to start being who you're going to be. And by 20, I was already realizing, okay, I see this whole game, what it is. You play it just enough to survive it, but you don't do nothing stupid that's really going to get you sent away for life. And I knew since I was very young, I wasn't going to run down and I could have easily did what these kids done. No, gang, I was never going to align myself with people who would allow me to do something like this. We had gangs back then. Right? From DC. We had some notorious gangs. Usually was from where your neighborhood was. They turned into gangs. And I had ample opportunity to get involved with a lot of nonsense. But I was in a pretty good, The area I was in, we were just like friends that grew up together. We weren't calling ourselves this, that, or the third. So we were kind of insulated, but at the same time, I lived a lot of places there. I lived in some of the most notorious projects and most notorious areas for my relatives. I would go there and be there for weeks. So I had all of that in my DNA. And as I got older and you move about the city, you come across all that stuff. So you make conscious decisions to not do things. Right? You know you can pick that weapon up and go do this, and you can go do that, and da da da. You know what could get you reputation out here, and you decide for yourself at 14, 15, 16. You make them decisions early. So these guys made really bad decisions to pick up them sticks and go chase down this guy and do what they did to him. In the most, they a lot of stuff led right back to him. So yes, the environment does make you that way, right? The environment does make you do things out of survival techniques, instincts. But at some point, that good kid stuff goes out of the window when you start doing bad kid stuff and running around with AR-15s, chasing people down. I believe he used his mom's car, right? If I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong. Something about his mom's car, something. At that point, you're not making good kid decisions no more. And at that point, I personally can't get up on a soapbox and say, I'm so young to not be given a chance to get out of here. Yes, it's awful to give a kid that young life, no opportunity for parole. But it's also awful that you guys chose in your 20s to do this and then go party afterwards, allegedly, and go drink and be on IG, this, that, and the third. I believe they taunted the victims. Somebody could correct me if I'm wrong. So it's a dirty game, and when the more you play it, the chances are clear game. No one's out there not knowing what the consequences are. Right? Purple Haze said, I used to live in Southwest. Marion Barry was a hero over there. Marion Barry, the rest of the country don't understand how much of a hero Marion Barry was. They make fun of him for using crack, this, that, and the third, but he was a hero to us because he kept the kids with summer jobs. He did a lot of good things for the community. But, and I'm going to move on, but Joe Budden is right. Everybody's right in this situation. Yes, we want to rehabilitate. You do want to rehabilitate. But you also don't want to give these guys an out where they can do this and expect to get out in 20 years and be back out there. Because, gang, I'm going to be honest, some guys come out 20 years and they just like they were when they went in. Right? So I'm going to leave it at that. Joe Budden is on point with this one. And they all have a point. You got to kind of be sympathetic because we weren't given this life. This life was handed to us through a series of very unfortunate events and systemic racism. So we're not going to act like this just happens. We are put in these situations. But at the same time, you got to understand what you're dealing with. And you got to understand these consequences. They used to have a show called Beretta. And in the beginning, it would say this very famous quote: don't do the crime if you can't do the time. All right? Let me move on. Keep it pushing. I think we got enough about that. Right? This next story, I found it a little funny because these guys, these Drake fans, everything bothers them. Everything. It's like it's up for life. And everything bothers these guys. Everything makes them upset. The slightest thing, they pawn your head top. Now they mad at Lil Yachty. Right? Or, quote unquote, clowning Lil Yachty for linking up with A$AP Rocky some kind of way. We're going to get to this story because I found it a little funny. All right? But where is this shit? I had it right here. But we're going to get there, right? So they're kind of upset with Lil Yachty for linking up with A$AP Rocky, and we're gonna have this conversation. Is he supposed to link up with him, or is he not supposed to? You guys can help me out, but it's like nobody can apparently do anything with anybody ever. Hip hop is in a weird place. We're in a weird place, gang, where it's all or nothing. All or nothing. And they're going to roast you if you ever set foot in the vicinity of someone's so-called op. Right? Let me read this. Drake fans drag Lil Yachty for linking up with A$AP Rocky. This is by Gabrielle Brosnan Veras on the hotnewhiphop.com website. While Yachty and A$AP Rocky share a friendship outside of the Drake context, tensions between all three make this moment debatable. Lil Yachty has had a friendship with Rocky for years, collaborating on occasion and bonding over their fashion, beauty, and business endeavors. But when Rocky started to beef with Drake after years of getting along, fans on all sides have been more scrupulous when it comes to loyalties. Rocky and Yachty fanned the flames by linking up recently, as caught by Kirko on Twitter. Considering Drake and A$AP Rocky's recent back and forth, many fans feel like this is a betrayal on Yachty's behalf. After all, he was one of Drizzy's closest friends and collaborators in the 2020s. But even that dynamic went through some rough patches. The Atlanta MC's comments on the Toronto superstar's beef with Kendrick Lamar led to a lot of OVO backlash. And it even resulted in some social media clues that suggested they were at odds. Still, as recently as this February, Lil Yachty suggested he was all good with Drake. Upon this picture's landing on social media, some fans pointed to this complicated but overall casual history, whereas others are calling this full-on switch-up that proves Yachty was always playing both sides. Even these artists, even if these artists explain it all, probably won't quell overzealous stance on all sides, jumping to conclusions. So let me show you the picture. I got the picture right here. This is A$AP Rocky and Lil Yachty, the picture that's stirring up all of this debate and angst amongst the OVO. And gang, you know what? I go out of my way to not say OVO hoes. I go out of my way. But after this week, and homeboy telling academics to find all my dirt and they're going to repost it, it's only fair to call them OVO hoes at this point, gang. But this is what the OVO people are upset about. That is A$AP Rocky and Lil Yachty linking up. Let me know. Somebody said we can't see it. That looks like the picture right there. Let me know if you guys can't see the picture. I have the picture right there. Yeah, man. You can't even do that. You can't even do that with one of your friends, right? Jake said, how is everyone his closest friends? Right? So that picture right there has caused a stir in OVO land. They are now once again upset with Yachty, taking shots, and they're getting in their feelings all over again. And I believe you, Swagoo. Said Drake finna start throwing subs at Boat now. It's only right. I would expect no less. I would even go so far as to say there better be some subs on Iceman 2. Let me continue with the article. For those unaware, Drake's beef with A$AP Rocky mainly stems from their relationships with their former partners. They both dated Rihanna and the mother of Drizzy's son Adonis, Sophie Brassol. I'm gonna go with Brassol. I don't know her name, but it looked like Brassol, right? So they both dated Riri and they both dated Sophie. That's entanglement, right? While things were mostly just subliminal and rumored in the late 2010s and early 2020s, the K.B firmly placed Rocky on the Compton rapper's side. And the Six God firmly dissed the ASAP Mob member in response. Fans reacting to this link up between Rocky and Yachty had a lot to say, but nothing conclusive can clearly emerge until the artists themselves speak out about this, right? So they put turn your chain in, Lil Yachty, right? Certified Jared, who is a 100% OVO hoe to the fullest. He had got his page taken down, got a new page. And he's still OVO hoeing, right? And I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to be saying OVO hoe too much. But this week, they getting it, right? But still said, why Iceman too? Chapo said, Drake about to release a bonus track on Hibbity Bibbity subbing boat. I can see it. Ain't Yachty somewhere on Hibbity Bibbity or something? Ain't he on Hibbity Bibbity or Made It On? He on somewhere. I don't know. You guys would know way better than me. Right? I think Yachty's somewhere on one of them 3 albums. I could be wrong, right? I could be wrong. He might be on Hibbity Bibbity somewhere. But that's it. That's the whole story. Apparently, they're mad at Lil Boat now. They up in arms. They unhappy. They unhinged. Okay? So that's where that's at. And it said, somebody on Twitter said in the interview he had with Drake, Yachty talked about how upset he'd get over lies people would spread about Drake, his so-called brother. But when Kendrick was calling his brother a pedo, all Yachty had to say was that he respected both sides. Gang, they tight. They tight. They tight, gang. I don't know. Hip-hop is in a weird place, gang. I can't even call it. I can't even call it no more. You can't take a picture with nobody no more. That's where it's at now. I get it. I get it. Can't take pictures with the ops. CNI, salute. CNI said, we're going to call them OVO hoes for you. Thank you. Thank you, CNI. Appreciate you. Right? Kenny Mac said, Drake is a fake Fonte. Do your homework, kids. He talking about P Code Aubrey. You bringing up old stuff. Why you talking about old stuff, Kenny? P Code Aubrey. We've been past P Code Aubrey. What you mean? It's a lot going on, okay? It's a lot going on. They said Sophie Broussard's wedding. Drake didn't happen to make that wedding, gang. His baby mom's wedding. Drake wasn't there. Daddy wasn't there. In his defense, why would he? Like, I know we like to laugh and joke at the dude, but why would he go to that? Like, make it make sense. Some of you guys are like, he should be there for his son. He don't have to be there, gang. Stop this nonsense. Why would he go to her wedding, gang? You guys reaching low-key. You guys low-key reaching. Low-key. Low-key. All right? You guys are asking for too much. Right? How he say on how he say on Demolition Man? He said, none of them New York niggas, they too uptight. You guys are too uptight. You too uptight, gang. Last story. It's about my girl. Right? And we doing this. We talking about Cardi on here. And it's a nonsense story. Nonsense story. We're going out of here with a light. You know how they say a light piece. We're going out of here with a light story. It's silly. And we doing this. I don't care. Say what you want. But I got some people in my chat that would love to hear what's going on with Cardi B. Right? I got people in my chat that would love to know what she's up to. She's in the culture too. This story is by Erica Marie on Hot New Hip Hop. This is Cardi B goes off on a blogger who said her tooth was knocked out. A blogger spread a rumor about Cardi B that caused the rapper to take to a live stream to deny claims that a man hit her. There's no shortage of rumors surrounding Cardi lately. The Bronx rapper faces off with the internet and media outlets over her career, romantic relationships, legal battle, and outspoken personality. I say it all the time, Cardi, please get off of Twitter. Stop cracking back, always responding. Sis, you don't got to respond to everybody. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. Mama, you made it. You need to stop. Let me continue. While she doesn't always address those who make up stories and post them to social media, she recently took time to call out a blogger. Cardi didn't name the person. It was me, guys. It must have been me. It wasn't me, gang. I don't even know nothing about this story. Cardi didn't name the person, but apparently they made claims that she was in some sort of altercation with a man and as a result lost a tooth. Quote, why are you lying saying that an N-word touched me and knocked my tooth out? First of all, I don't give a F if I'm beefing with an N-word. I hate an N-word. One thing I'm not going to do is go and lie on an N-word. The N-word never even laid a nail on me. I don't play that domestic violence BS. Then she spoke about tolerating bullshit from other romantic partners because of what she witnessed growing up. However, DV was something that she would never accept. So she's a survivor of that, and she would never go for it. And she was upset that the blogger even went to that. So my whole thing, the moral of the story is, to me, sometimes we ain't got to address everything, but I guess that was important to Cardi, right? Chapo said Barney B News. Cheap teeth. Listen, gang, I don't know if you guys saw this Damon Dash. Allegedly, he's supposed to be trying to buy the building Jim Jones is in, right? I don't know if you saw that awful cheap teeth video that Dame Dash did about Jay-Z with Nicki Licky dissing, supposed to be dissing. We're losing our, like we said earlier, it's the young people aren't making as much noise as the older people, but the noise that the older people are making is absolutely, I only got the words. It's awful. Some of my OGs, right? Some of my OGs, they're down bad. Dame Dash is at the bottom of the barrel. We're seeing Dame Dash scrape the pot, right? My Latinos will know what I say, con, when the bottom of the pot is rice and it's burnt and you got to scrape the bottom of the pot. That's what Dame Dash, he's scraping the bottom of the pot for this stuff now. He's going on every podcast are paying now, gang. I don't know if you know that. So Dame Dash, every time you see him pop up on somebody's podcast, he's being paid to be there. It ain't for free. It ain't for fun. So this Jay-Z put a battery in his back. Now he's everywhere you want to be. He's a MasterCard, a Visa, American Express. He's everywhere. He's getting to the point it's becoming laughable, but he's getting his money. This is where Dame Dash is shining, because now he can just make free money by just talking about Jay-Z. And he's supposed to be an OG, right? He's supposed to be an OG. Issy2 said teeth tumbling. Supposed to be allegedly Dame Dash is somebody's OG, right? Nicki Licky says in the rap, how you disrespect your OG? When was Dame Dash ever Jay-Z's OG? Let me know. Somebody in the chat tell me how Dame Dash let a line like that go unchecked. He might have wrote that line. Nicki Licky said, how the hell you disrespect your OG? Something I would never do. So Dame Dash is allegedly Nicki Licky's OG. Known to do for about a year, right? At best. But now he's your OG. Right? The funny thing is, Dame Dash is running around getting all this money. Now he's trying to flex, and he's trying to buy a country club. He got a new show approved on BET called OG Stories, and he's supposedly trying to buy Jim Jones's a podcast studio building. Right? Everybody supposed to be buying this building. Nobody bought it. Right? But all that money's coming from the Jay-Z controversies that he's been milking for the last year. All these podcasts, he's sitting down with Say Cheese, sitting down with Art of Dialogue. They pay him to be there. But Dame Dash is in bankruptcy court. Dame Dash owes money on his child support, his taxes, and every lawsuit he's ever had against him, almost all of them he lost. But somehow he's flipping that podcast money and making himself look rich. And it's working because now he's back out, got new teeth apparently, and he's ready to play. So our OG's looking kind of weird out here, gang. Jay-Z did that one verse. He said about 2 bars about Dame. And now Dame is all over the place. He's been milking it. Mind you, he don't want to talk about Jay. He don't ask me about Jay, right? But he's right back again talking about Jay-Z. This is where it is with this this OG that we're supposed to revere, right? This is who we're supposed to be looking up to, right? Dame Dash. How Nas say, we all know when Nas called him, Dame Dummy. Who you supposed to be, Dame Dash, Dame Diddy, or Dame Dummy? Poet said, I hope I never have to hear the name Nicky Lick again. Oh no, you're gonna hear it again because Dame Dash said he's starting a music label. He said about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, he said he's looking for new talent. Dame Dash is now starting a music label, and he's looking for artists. And not only artists, he's looking for creatives. He's going to do, it's not going to just be a label, it's going to be a whole thing. He's looking for influencers. He's going for the whole thing. Mind you, he had said about a month or two before that, ain't no money left in music. He had never get in the music business again. He said it on Say Cheese show. Actually, it was about 6 months ago because he didn't have his new teeth fixed. He had, I think he was put a mask over his face. Back then, he had said, ain't no money in music. He would never go back to it. Flash forward 6 months later, he's starting a new music label. Dame Dash Music, some shit. So there you have it. This is what your OGs, they go back and forth. You never can, at this point, you can't believe what nobody tell you no more. All right? Talent. You Biggie and he's Puffy. Gang, listen. I think I got to everything in the title. I'm gonna go around and fix the title on the shows that already went, because when you put too many letters, it'll just use the yesterday's title or whatever. So it should be correct at this point. The show, I had fun with this one again. Once again, I'm proud of the people that came in. We had 200 in the chat. I appreciate you all, everybody, whether you commented or not. Appreciate that. Head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. They ship all over the continental U.S. Wednesday nights, we go live on the What Show. Me, TJ, and Flares. We did not go live last night. But we'll be here next week, right? And we're going to have some special guests next week, okay? I'm trying to get in touch with a couple of YouTubers that I want to start my interview. I have an interview show I'm about to start, and I want to interview influencers and YouTubers. I want to sit down with them via the chat. I was going to show my agent, be like, via Skype, right? Via Skype or Zoom, right? No, it's going to be via the YouTube app or whatever. And I just want to talk and get people's life story, because we got some really, really interesting people that have become YouTubers, like Quality, Jay Nolan, a lot of cool people. And I want to interview these people and get to know them. Moni, if I can get chilling with Moni, and just an hour, 2 hours, and just talk to them. That's what my show I'm about to create. All right, I'm about to create a show where we can just get to know these people beyond these stories and takes, and get to know who they are, right? Just get some legacy interviews, right? But that's it. That's all. I got to get out of here, man. I appreciate you guys watching, right? Like I said, black-yeti.com. I got a Patreon. You can sign up for free on my Patreon. I do stuff for subscribers, but I also do stuff free. So let me know when you go over there. I'll see you joined as a member. Free 99. All right, gang. Listen, the show is done. I had a great time with you guys. I appreciate everybody. Pretty Mimi, Coco, Girly Jock, Couch Potatoes, Chapo, Chloe, Miss Hummus, Your Music Diva, OGT Bella, Poet, Toy. I know Tiff is in there somewhere. Done deal. Quickie Sticky, right? Bethany, gang. I am out of here. I'm gonna catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.
I need the whole left side. Every seat by the window. I need the whole back of the bus. Everybody, move over. You too. Slide your feet over. Everything by this window. I need this. All these seats. Move over. Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you. Look. He deserve an EGOT, he hot, color like a peacock. Idiot, slapper, scrapper, mad rapper, D-dot. Bad dopper, clapper, bad rapper. 3 shots, leap the weapons, lethal injections through off your T-top. JFK smiling down through the treetops. Like hold your head, my nigga, wait for the beat drop. Old niggas wagging fingers like it's bebop. Cowboys and girls whistling world like it's teapots. My pen to make your arm heavy G-shot. While your mom trolling steady.